watch this, it's called a fish finder rig. You cast it out, and you slowly reel it. You can either wait for a fish to find it, or you can find the fish. Slowly reel it, and you'll see. You'll see at the pond. Boom! Boom! Every time, boom, right? Catch a fish, catch a fish. Sometimes you cast it way out, you don't get no bites. You gotta find the fish. And you slowly reel it. When you get a bite, when you get a nibble, you'll enjoy it. You little, and you'll feel him when he's on. When you're fishing with live bait, watch the line. Because when the fish is starting to panic, you know somebody's coming home. You can actually see the action of the bait. You put your bait, especially if you're on a bobber. Hey, you bait. What do you know?
What?
No, before. Oh.
You can have this one get in the car. In the car.
Any questions so far? Are you learning? Right? I wanted to teach basic stuff so when you can say, oh yeah, I know what he said. He said he did it. This one, knocker rig. I had to run on these terms. They use this surf fishing, and you can use it here. But see the difference? See how the weight is on the hook? It's a lot easier to cast your bait like this. Because all the other lines, sometimes they get tangled when you cast. I'm sure you've had that, right? It gets tangled. But look at that, the bait's sitting right there, the sinker right there, you cast it, no problem. The cool thing about this is once it lands in the water, and remember you have to get line out, your bait is going to be this. Almost like that one, but that one has a certain limit where it stops. This one goes on and on and on. If you have a live bait, you can let him go to Cuba if you want him to go. If you have the line.
That's a lot of line.
That's a lot of line. He'll just go and go and go and go and go, go and go and go. As long as you're feeding line, especially my wife does it all the time, surf fishing. She feeds the line and she catches a huge stingray. Because she's feeding that bait, and with this, the current is just taking it, going, going, going. You don't have to cast that far. Let the bait do it for you, especially if he's live. You just go and go and go. Yeah. Knocker rig. Good rig. Questions? No? We're almost done, guys. I know you guys decided to go fishing. Me too.
I know. Little one is.
I'm always excited to see what we're going to get. Remember this. You should always use the size of the hook for the fish that you're intending to catch. Okay? So you're intending to catch a big fish, you want a big hook. Now, get this. If you use a big hook, you can only catch what? A big fish. If you use a small hook, what can you catch? And a big fish.
So any fish.
Right? I'm not talking about a tiny one. I'm talking about like a medium hook. If you use a medium hook, you can catch a big fish and a small fish. But with a big hook, and I see a lot of people here, bless their souls, they come with these massive hooks like they're going to catch a whale.
We saw one out there, and he was like, look at this hook.
Yeah, and they don't catch anything. They spend all day long with their family here. They don't catch nothing. They get a lot of bites.
And then he comes along,
because the hook
and they
is
start catching fish.
Okay, dropper rig. Watch this one. Dropper rig. They use this one a lot surf fishing. Let me unravel it.
Okay. Mama's new Pokemon's.
Oh, yeah, I put
Pokemon too.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to be all into that.
Dropper rig. So this gets attached to your main line. Why do you think the swivel's up here? So it doesn't get tangled. Okay? The fish, the bait can just burst. So it's got two hooks. And the sinker, so the sinker sits on the bottom, right? And if you're surf fishing, it's like this. These are freely floating. You could put live bait or you could put dead bait. But it's stationary. It's not going anywhere. It's not like the other ones. It's just going to sit there, waiting for a fish to come get it. Right? They use this a lot in surf fishing. But it's a bigger rig. And then, get this, when you learn how to do these rigs, that's a T-knot. See this? I could take that hook off, right? And I could put any size hook I want. If I know there's nothing but little fish, I put a little hook. If I'm going after big fish, I could actually have a big hook and a small hook. Right? Isn't that cool? And you can make that yourself. This clip, like that. I can unclip it and put a bigger sinker if I need it. If I cast it out, it doesn't go as far as I want it. It just seems really light. Put a bigger sinker on it. The purpose of the sinker is to be able to cast it, and then once it's cast, to make sure that it stays on the bottom. Let me show you a trick on the rod. Because once you have a rod, you'll learn your rod. You'll learn what size sinker you need, and etc. So if you put a sinker on, let's make believe you put a sinker on, right? And the rod is like this. With just the sinker, do you think that's too much of a sinker? Absolutely. Mom don't know much about fishing, and she's bobbing her head. She says, absolutely. Right? So you're going to put too much weight, and then if you put your bait on, guess what? It does that. Then imagine if you caught a fish, it's this. Right? The chances of landing that fish is going to break your line. So you kind of want your rod just kind of like that a little bit.
Okay.
You can tell. There's several options you can do. You can put the sinker on. Like for this rod, this is the weight you want. See this little itty bitty one? That one? That one? Maybe that one.
Okay.
Or that one. So like I think it's a half. They call it half or 3/4. They come in different sizes. Or you can put a couple of these on.
Okay.
Right? The split chop. You can put one on. And it's going to cast. So you just don't want to put too much weight on the rod when you're fishing.
Okay.
Now we have one more rig I'll show you. Have you seen this rig? Hopper rig. This goes on your line. This one actually has a clip. You can put any size hook you want. You feel this. It's metal. Why do you think it's metal?
Heavier fish?
Some fish have teeth like a shark.
Oh.
Right? Can I catch a shark with this? Yes. Can I catch a shark with this line? No. So if you're going out surf fishing, or you're going somewhere where you know there's going to be big fish with a lot of teeth, like trout, shark, you want one with the wire leader. They make these with just the fishing line. These are more expensive because, of course, they got the wire leader. And the way you fish this, right? This is floating in the water. You have your bait, either dead or alive. Alive is always the best bait. And he's just going to swim. And you let your line out, he'll just keep going. And when you see him doing this, he starts panicking. Just wait, because this is going to happen. Boom! You're going to get a bite, right? These popper corks, they use a lot for redfish and trout here, because they also use another technique. They'll have the fish bait floating, no bites. They'll reel it in a couple of times, and this cork, you see this cork, how it does this? Makes a sound, it pops in the water, and it attracts the fish. The fish think there's another dead fish somewhere. They see the splash, they go, oh, bait, and they come after it. So a lot of guys, especially the professional guys, if you look at their lines, they all have this rig. Yeah. I've used it, haven't caught anything yet. Bait in the hook, and bait. Squid, right? Shrimp. What else? Live mullet, dead mullet, right? Live shrimp, dead shrimp. You don't get any live squid. I didn't know there were certain ways to hook a live shrimp or a live mullet. Did you know that? There's certain ways? If you don't know the way to hook it, you're going to lose a lot of bait. You're going to actually cast and the bait's going to go flying. and that's no good.
So I guess we were putting the whole thing on
Yes.
until we met Brandon to you guys.
Yeah,
We're like,
that-
just
that-
a little piece. Oh,
yeah.
no, there's our problem.
Yeah. For this area here, little pieces. You'll catch big fish with little pieces. You guys are fishing with little hooks with massive pieces.
Yep. We're trying to hide the hook.
Yeah, if there was a big fish, you might have caught something, but you just said something that's a no-no. You said you were trying to hide the hook.
Yeah.
Never hide the hook.
good to
Because if you hide the hook, it can't hook the fish. You want the hook, the bar, sticking out of the bait. So the minute he bites it, it'll hook him. If it's hiding in the bait, he can bite it, and you might miss the fish. Okay? So this is a shrimp. I'm a very visual person. I have to see it. I mean, and I have to do it. If not, I forget it. Right? So that's the reason why I'm visually showing you all this kind of stuff. It took me a while to learn all this stuff. This is a shrimp. Best way to hook a live shrimp is between the eyes and his brain. The little dark thing on the shrimp. So you can hook them that way, or you can hook them that way. That'll keep the shrimp alive for a while. If you hook them on the brain, which is the biggest part, and a lot of people do that, this is the biggest part, and they think the hook's gonna last longer, the shrimp, he's gonna die. You're gonna have a dead shrimp. Can you catch fish with a dead shrimp? Yes. But you want them alive, especially if you buy live shrimp and spend all that money. Or you can hook them in the back, right in the top of the tail. Live shrimp. Dead shrimp, with dead shrimp, pluck the head off.
Okay.
Right? Pluck the head off. If they're small, perfect. You put the hook right through him, boom, right? Or you get a little piece and put it. I kind of go sideways on him.
Okay.
Some people say take his covering off and just go sideways. Fresh shrimp, dead, stays longer on the hook. If you go home and freeze your shrimp and come back and thaw it, you'll be feeding fish all day long because it comes off so quick. Any questions?
No.
Mullet, dead mullet, cut a big chunk, put it on there, put it out there in the surf, get that stuff, right? Here in the bay, you put a chunk of mullet, you're gonna catch crabs. My wife had a head of a mullet like this, and within 2 feet, she caught a flounder this big. Right? So anything can happen. That's one thing great about salt water. Anything can happen. You're going after little bitty fish, and here comes a trout, boom, big one. Right? With this mullet, before his eyes, his mouth, the hard part, you can go up or you can go down. Or you can go in his mouth and up. The back part of him, by that fin, there's a bony spot there. Whoop, hook him right there. He'll stay there for a while. Alive. It won't kill him. Any questions? Okay, doing good. Lexi, any questions? No? Okay. You have to learn this knot. You gotta learn it. It's in the pamphlet.